very honored to be here and to speak on behalf of all the students and all the volunteers to celebrate Literacy Unlimited's 45 years of learning experiences. What an accomplishment. When we began in the 1970s and 80s, literacy had become a sector of the adult education division of the Quebec government and the education department in that field. And we were fortunate at that time to have the full support of the Lakeshore School Board, which is now the Lester B. Pearson School Board. We started one student, one volunteer, and that was the beginning of a West Island Literacy Council. And that was to address the literacy needs of the learners from Verdun to the Ontario border. We were part of various grassroots groups throughout Quebec. And these literacy councils communicated with other groups in Canada. We went to British Columbia, we went to Alberta, Ontario, and Nova Scotia. We grew. Our little council on the West Island had grown through that exchange of ideas, of methodology, and innovative strategies in both tutor training and teaching. The Quebec Literacy Working Group and the Movement for Canadian Literacy were driving forces in our development, and their support and their guidance were most valued. Then we had a pool of trained volunteers who offered their services in a variety of areas. In addition to tutoring, they did fundraising. They raised awareness in the community. They attended interviews with me on radio and TV, believe it or not, and helped with general duties. They were unlimited in their dedication, their enthusiasm, their commitment, and their skills. It's my pleasure today to welcome and reconnect with some of those volunteers who formed the original board of Literacy Unlimited. We're fortunate to have Jack Walk, Joanne LeBlanc, today. Unfortunately, Cheryl Berwick is at a business meeting in Toronto, so she didn't quite make it back. And they had worked diligently to set up the non-profit organization with the appropriate name of Literacy Unlimited. And together, we planted those first seeds and nurtured them throughout the early years to make sure that the roots were firmly established. Later on, I had the wonderful good fortune to work with Gail Gagnon, who is also here with us tonight. Thank you. By the early 1990s, with close to 100 learners in either a one-to-one or small group settings, the volunteer sector had grown, and over 5,000 volunteer hours were given per year. My heartfelt thanks goes out to all of them. I could not have done it without your support. We are indeed proud of the continuous efforts of Literacy Unlimited. Those seeds have grown and they've flourished over the years into this amazing tree, ever expanding the outreach into our community. The organization, I'm proud to say, has never lost sight of the basic reason for its existence. That is, of course, meeting the literacy needs of our learners. Under their very appropriate name, the organization is unlimited in the programs that are offered to address the ever-changing challenges for the learners for the 21st century. especially having to deal with social media and AI. This is the new reality. Change is inevitable. Throughout the years, Literacy Unlimited's strength, innovation, and creativity have addressed those changes. The extremely talented and effective management team, now in effect, has created branches of learning for the individual adult student, for family literacy, numeracy, senior groups for digital literacy, and women's health. What a delight to witness this tree of life. Be it the need, as Frances said, to prepare, well, for me, a recipe, to understand the instructions for medications, to fill out necessary forms, to read a book to a child, or to read for one's own entertainment and for your joy of reading. There's an endless need to be able to decode words. Yet, we all realize that it's not just a matter of decoding words, but rather to understand the power of those words, to be able to grasp the real meaning and the impact of those words for determining fact or fiction. That is especially vital in today's world. Words matter. Once again, the power of words are unlimited in vision, unlimited in passion, and unlimited in understanding. We continue, here we are, 45 years later, to be blessed with a group of dedicated volunteers who so generously give of their time, their expertise, and their commitment to help their students and the organization. Our students had the courage to seek help, and their tutors have assisted them to not only open up their lives, their own lives, to the possibilities and the opportunities available, but also to develop more confidence in dealing with their day-to-day duties. These students become determined to meet those challenges and to improve their lives, to learn and experience the joy and the power of words, and to pass on that knowledge to the next generation. How wonderful if our learners can not only enrich their personal lives, but also become active citizens who can connect and contribute effectively in their community. Each one of you here this afternoon can be active in the outreach, awareness, and the support of Literacy Unlimited, who we hope can continue to thrive for another 45 years. You can make a difference. Just remember, the possibilities are unlimited. Thank you. Thank you.